You are listening to Win on KZKO. Check them out every Monday from 4 to 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Only on KZKO The Vibe.
Covering all conversation, from dating to getting revenge on your exes. This is Talking Points with Shabazz Davis on World Improv Network.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you. And welcome to Talking Points with Shabazz Davis. My name is Jerome Carmichael, filling in for Shabazz Davis this week while he's busy tripping on DMT. Have a nice trip, Shabazz. I hope you find the egg. Now, there's a lot of paparazzi running around these days as celebrity culture becomes a greater and greater fixture here in American life. But this isn't an equal opportunity culture for all celebrities. Some celebrities are left to the background. They're not on the cover of People. And it's because they have ugly children. America does not want to look at ugly celebrity babies. And now, to talk to us today about that phenomenon, we have two big Hollywood stars here as our guests. So I'd like to welcome Mr. Steve Buscemi and Miss Whoopi Goldberg to the show. Thank you both for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, it's so wonderful to be here.
And it's wonderful to have you. I'm a huge fan of Ghost, Miss Goldberg.
You're fabulous in Sister Act.
Oh, thank you. That was one of my favorite works. Yeah.
And well, I have you both here because as ugly celebrities, you both have ugly celebrity children. And now, how does it make you feel that the paparazzi aren't tracking you guys?
I feel actually all right with it.
Oh, you're fine being left alone, being just a minor celebrity who's really not that important in the cultural zeitgeist?
Well, you see, I don't want my importance to derive from my physical appearance or, nonetheless, my child's physical appearance. I would like to be known for my work. I think that a lot of people agree that I've played some very memorable roles, like the psychotic guy in Con Air, who had that really weird scene at the deserted airbase with the little girl playing pretend tea party.
That was very creepy.
Yeah, people thought that was going one direction, but actually, nothing happened.
Yes, but I would like to point out that was a very attractive celebrity child, unlike your own children.
Well, first of all, I don't appreciate you addressing my children. It's one thing if it's the paparazzi, because they don't have any dignity in the first place. But you, sir, you should show a little more respect, especially since we're looking at each other face to face.
Well, the way I see it, it's much more respectful to say these things to your face.
We're not friends. All right? Friends hurt each other with the truth. You're not my friend.
Stephen, it's okay. Your children are not nearly as ugly as mine. So
I beg to differ.
Oh, mine. Have you seen my children?
Yeah.
Have you seen Arya and Sansa?
Have you seen my children?
Yes.
Have you seen Joey and Luisha?
Oh, Luisha's pretty ugly. And the good thing about that, Steve, she's getting really fat. She's got a head as big as mine. Yeah.
That's right. The proportions of my baby. You should see the proportions of this baby. It's so weird. Her head is like an adult person's head, right? But she's still got like baby-sized eyes.
Yeah, did you ever see that movie?
That's really weird.
With Jim Carrey. It was one of his best works. Me, Myself, and Irene.
Yes, I believe where he had the crew cut.
Yes, absolutely. Well, you know that really big fat kid in that movie? That's kind of what Steve's child looks like, but even fatter. And the head is actually the size of like Mr. T. Yeah.
Well, that's gross. You must be very ashamed of him, Mr. Buscemi.
No, not at all. He's an incredibly intelligent, thoughtful, caring baby.
But he's ugly.
So what?
Oh, so what? You're a celebrity.
Not by choice.
Well,
I'm an actor by trade.
Okay. I'm sensing a lot of animosity here, so I'm gonna move this over to Ms. Goldberg.
Wow, I don't know what made you say that.
Well, Ms. Goldberg, you are notorious for having the absolute ugliest children in Hollywood.
That is so true. And I pride myself for that because, well, when my first 2 biological ones came out as ugly as they were, I went and I adopted 3 more that were even uglier.
Yeah. And as far as I know, no pictures have actually been successfully taken of your youngest child.
That is true. There's a phenomenon known as memory card and chip dysplasia. When you take a picture of something so heinous as my children, you have nothing but a black spot there. It's pretty amazing. And that's actually one of the reasons why I did that, was to get 3 more of the ugliest kids on the planet out of orphanages all across the world, was because not only was I saving their life, but more importantly, no one can ever see them, so they can grow up to be exactly normal. Yeah.
So it sounds like you have embraced having ugly children, much more so than Mr. Buscemi.
I don't deny the ugliness of my children. Scientists say that beauty objectively comes from the proportions. All right, proportions in one's face and in the body, right? And I don't deny that.
And your children are wildly out of proportion.
That's right. That's right. But I love my children regardless, and I don't think it's anybody's business to make a deal out of the physical appearance to my children, and I'm going to raise them however I wish.
Well, a question for both of you. Don't you feel that the American public has a right to see your children? Yes.
No. All right. They're somehow entitled. But what exactly is your point of view here, sir? That the American public, why should the American public have the right to see my children? All right.
Well, as a celebrity,
I can answer that one. I'm actually I'm going to be running for the presidency next year. I'm going to be competing against Hillary. I want to be the first woman president, actually, and now that I can follow it up and be a black woman president, so I can get 2 for 1 right there. Actually, I do think that the public should see my children because they are so ugly that any problems that they have, they will just go to the wayside. It's also a way to relate to the common man. And thirdly, the other reason why I want the public to see my children is when they see them, they will burn their corneas and retinas and they'll be blind. So it'll help a lot.
Yes, that sounds much more useful. Then we as a nation won't be have to look at so many horrible things because we'll all be blinded.
And we won't be so visually stimulated. I would have gotten the perfect husband if I wasn't so ugly myself because of my talent and my wealth. But since I am so ugly, I wasn't able to get that perfect husband. I was supposed to marry George Clooney. Oh. And he turned me down 4 times.
Yep.
And
rightfully
so. 5th time, he just kicked me in the back of the sternum.
Oh.
And that's when I finally got it.
In the back of the sternum?
Yes. And then I went
out. So he kicked through you and then hit your rib cage from the opposite side.
Yeah, I just want to refresh my memory on human anatomy. The sternum is that bone that sits in the middle at the front, right, of your torso.
That is correct.
That's correct. He tried to kick me from behind, and it didn't go all the way through the other side like in Mortal Kombat. It stuck at my sternum. So that's what kept his foot from going all the way through.
But what about your spine?
It hurt. It hurt a little bit.
It hurt? I mean, usually you would be paralyzed.
No, he only got a glancing blow on the C3, but it hurt.
And that's one of the bonuses of being a celebrity, Mr. Buscemi, which you don't embrace, are the natural healing properties of money. It sounds like Ms. Goldberg has a much more grounded and realistic view of celebrity, and I think you could learn a thing or two from him, from her, Mr. Buscemi.
Oh,
sorry.
Did you hear that, Whoopi?
Oh, I'm sure she gets that all the time.
That's not a problem. Many people call me the Predator, so it's not a big deal. It's okay.
All right. Well, I would like to thank both of you for being on the show today. And Mr. Buscemi, you're a disappointment.
You're a schmuck.
Thank you very much, and good night, America.
Give the WinCast your suggestions via Facebook, Twitter, or the KZKO Win blog during the commercial break of what issues the Win counselors can help you with during Good, Bad, Ugly. Next on KZKO.
You are listening to Win on KZKO. Check them out every Monday from 4 to 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Only on KZKO, the